Hello everyone and welcome to part 5 of the making of franco-belgian album series. This is alrav from Quebec, Canada, the author and creator of Alcatraz the Protector / Alcatraz the Protector. So let's get right into it. In the previous chapter I've already talked about shown what a work in progress of a comic book page looks like. So this time around I'm going to be focusing on the inking aspect. One unique characteristic that with the franco-belgian album is that the inking itself is done by the same artist as the pencils, which is unlike American comics where all the drawing and the inking process are separate. So they are all the different art style can be found through the use of ink. So I'm going to be showing you each one of these. All the examples that I'm showing you here are based on L'Art de la BD by Doc, published at les Éditions Glénat. This is my reference bible for all the comic book storytelling that taught me how to do panel by panel storytelling of the franco-belgian album format, and it is the guy that introduced me to the medium as well. So for the various art style, the first one is the clean line style. What it is a simple cartoon-esque tracing of the art itself. So this is actually used a lot for various series like Tintin, for instance. It's a very classic and iconic style that's used especially in all age books and stuff, and is the easiest one to do, and it leaves a lot of room for coloring. The second one here, this one I've also shown in a book like Persepolis, is the clean line style, but this time with a lot of dark moody shadows. So there's also a series that I've read once, Julius Aquac, that has this art style, and basically it's the same as with the clean line style that I've shown before, but you have these dark moody shadows that add a lot of drama and actual darkness within the pictures, so it makes for this contrast in the shot themselves. This style can also be found in color. So, and then there's the realist style of drawing, which can sometimes be found in series, especially the more adult-oriented series out there. These franco-belgian albums, they do have, for instance, all age groups style of books, but you also have the more adult style of work, and this is where you can find these more realistic style drawings and stuff that are closer to, let's say, some of the old school American comics. And then there are the more experimental ones, such as I think in English the term for this one would be attouring, where you are using, for instance, the drawing, you do individual marks to create all type of different shadows and stuff. So this one can also be done in ink and create all sorts of effect. Personally, I've used it early on for my previous comic book series, the Mr. Frustrated Mustache, also known as the Monsieur Moustachu Frustré, but eventually I went to a more clean art style of drawing, like I do now with Alcatraz. And this one here is the more interesting, more obscure one, that called le traître ami en français, but it's basically the same as with the American comics and stuff, the way they draw in ink, but you have a sort of special in between the frame that you can add. I've never personally experienced this one, but it does exist. So, and there are more experimental ones. So for instance, this here are some of the early precursors to digital drawing and stuff. that do exist in some series. There's the Lavis, which is a very ancient one that's hardly ever used in modern comics and stuff. That's more akin to painting, well, at least for the background. And there's the hyper-realistic style, which does exist, but is very rare, and it just goes into the realm of photorealistic. So it's rarely used outside of covers, but there are some series. Here I'm showing you the two examples that are shown in the books. So there's a series here called Storm, and another one that's simply called Le Mercenaire, which is basically the mercenary in English. So the inking process is basically an extension of the art itself with the franco-belgian albums. So when the artists finish their drawings, they go directly with the ink in order to create their own art style that's suited for the story itself. And that's it for today's video, folks. So I've already shown this book before in some of my previous videos, such as my introduction guide to franco-belgian album, as well as the in-depth analysis. So that said, let me know what you think in the commentary section below, and as always, look forward to all the Alcatraz the Protector / Alcatraz the Protector stuff on my Substack. The links are available in the description below or on my channel's page. And as always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you on another very soon. So enjoy the reading.